Hi and welcome. Physical abuse is a terrible act that can happen between partners. But did you know that emotional abuse can be just as damaging? While it may be easier to recognize physical abuse, emotional abuse is often hidden and goes unnoticed. It doesn't leave visible bruises, but it can wreak havoc on your psyche and emotions. The damage done by emotional abuse is just as real and important as the damage done by physical abuse. In this video, I share what emotional abuse is, the signs and symptoms, how it can affect you, and ways you can actually recover and get healthy. And of course, don't forget to give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Welcome. I'm Dr. D, clinical psychologist, and I work with individuals and couples who want to learn how to create healthier and more sustainable relationships, whether that be with their partner, a spouse, a family member, a friend, a coworker, or even a child. I also help people who are going through a separation or divorce improve how they communicate around co-parenting issues with their soon-to-be ex. So let's get started. What exactly is emotional abuse? Emotional abuse is defined as verbal abuse such as yelling, name-calling, blaming, shaming, isolation, intimidation, and controlling behavior. It can also come in the form of toying with your emotions. Emotional abuse can happen to anybody in any kind of relationship. How to recognize emotional abuse. Emotional and verbal abuse in relationships often goes unnoticed by friends and family. So, the first step in dealing with emotional abuse is recognizing that it is happening. Here are 7 common behaviors of emotional abuse. 1. Controlling behavior isolation. Your partner prevents you from seeing friends or family members and tries to control who you spend time with. They may even also prevent you from going to work by taking away your transportation or by calling so many times that it disrupts your work schedule or get you fired. 2. Threats. Your partner threatens to hurt themselves or others if you leave the relationship. They may also threaten to damage your property or threaten to kill pets or other things that you care about. These threats may also occur if you don't do something correctly. 3. Humiliation and criticism. Your partner makes fun of you in front of others or calls you names such as crazy or stupid. 2 words I can't stand. He or she puts you down, including your looks, abilities, ideas, or emotions. A 4th way, gaslighting. This is when your partner tries to make you doubt your sanity by denying that they said or did something, even though you know they did. For example, if you ask your partner to stop making fun of your outfit, and they deny doing so by telling you being dramatic, that's gaslighting. 5, projecting. This is when your partner blames you for their behavior and says things like, you made me do this. This is never the case that one person makes another person do something. People are responsible for their own behavior and deeds. Another thing, yelling and screaming. When someone yells at you or screams at you in a hostile way, it can be extremely upsetting and traumatic. This yelling and screaming is often excessive, demeaning, and threatening. Your partner should respect you and treat you calmly. And last, emotional blackmail. This primarily comes in the form of saying something like, if you really loved me. This is a very common form of emotional abuse as it makes the victim feel as though they are doing something wrong. You are not. Now, the effects of emotional abuse on your mental and physical health can be devastating and far-reaching. So it's important to know what these effects are so that you can recognize them if they happen to you and get out of an abusive relationship before the damage is too severe. Here are 7 significant effects of emotional abuse on your brain and body. 1. Depression. The intense feelings of helplessness that come from being emotionally abused may cause you to feel depressed. It may make you feel as though you are unable to escape from a situation that seems hopeless. And this is exactly how your abuser wants you to feel. Another way, anxiety. Anxiety often manifests as obsessive thoughts about your partner's behavior and what they might do next. This obsession can make it difficult for you to eat, sleep, or focus on anything else in your life other than the fear that's surrounding your partner. Another sign, physical pain and stress. Emotional abuse is often accompanied by physical symptoms like headaches, stomachache, backaches, or other unexplained pain in the body. And this is because high levels of stress hormones like cortisol actually change our brains and bodies in ways that make us more susceptible to illness and injury. Another sign, low self-esteem. Emotional abuse can negatively affect your self-esteem. You might start to believe that this is just an inevitable part of being in a relationship. You may blame yourself for what's happening in your relationship with your partner and feel like you're somehow undeserving of more respectful treatment. You don't always recognize how much and to what degree your self-esteem has been affected until you're away from the relationship. Another sign, longing for affection or attention. You're longing for affection or attention from your partner so much that it becomes unhealthy for other relationships in your life, such as with your family or friends. You may find that you put up with increasingly bad behavior from your partner because you have become dependent on their approval. Another sign, sleep disorders and nightmares. Have you been having trouble sleeping? Perhaps as a result of worry or anxiety about your relationship, or worse, frequent nightmares about what might happen in the future. Nightmares may also revolve around past fights and lingering post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. Another sign, trust issues and approval seeking. It's not uncommon for those who have been emotionally abused to have trouble trusting others, often thinking that they will be hurt again by another partner in some way. And they can also start to lose trust in themselves and their ability to pick healthy partners. Those who have been abused are also more likely to seek approval from others to make sure that they do not upset anyone else after experiencing abuse themselves. So, now you know what emotional abuse is and how it can affect you. But here are some tips for healing and recovery. First, tell somebody. This is a very important step, even though I recognize it's frequently a challenge for victims to inform somebody regarding what is happening. However, when you begin to tell people near you what's occurred, you'll observe that many have had comparable encounters and they'll have the option to help you. And it's also helpful to talk to a professional who can listen from an unbiased perspective. They can aid in setting up a treatment plan to help you feel like yourself again and work through this trauma. What else can you do? Practice mindfulness. Emotional abuse is like a riptide, right? It will pull you away from reality and make it hard to think clearly about your situation. Take time every day to practice mindfulness by meditating or practice yoga, as this will help you stay calm and clear-headed and focused and calm. Mindfulness also helps you accept your feelings, which are real in the moment, without passing judgment on yourself. Just be. Accept you have a right to have the feelings you do. Another way to recover? Don't blame yourself. This is key. It's important to realize that you didn't do anything wrong. Abuse is never an acceptable behavior in any form. You are a victim of the abuser's actions and are not responsible for what they did to you. Another way to get better? Build up your self-esteem. You can do this by saying positive things about yourself, even if they seem small. Write them down on sticky notes if it helps you to remember how wonderful you are. The more you remind yourself how much worth you have as a person, the better you feel about yourself as a whole. But remember, this will take time. That's okay. Journal your thoughts. Write down 1 or 2 things you did each day that was positive, because over time, these things add up. So a couple final thoughts. Emotional abuse is a form of domestic violence that can be hard to spot. The telltale signs are often invisible, such as a change in behavior or general demeanor. When you're in a relationship with someone who abuses you emotionally, it can impact you in many ways, including your self-esteem, work or school performance, and most importantly, your mental health. Take the necessary steps to remove yourself from this type of relationship now. It's important you do that. Does any of this resonate with you? Do you find yourself in a relationship where you feel like something isn't right, or maybe you know somebody? If so, let's chat. I work with many people who have been the victim of abuse and want to put themselves on a path to recovery and create a healthier life for themselves and gain the confidence they want to have and that they really need. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram at Dr. K. Davin, or email me at hello@kristindavin.com. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and please leave a comment, and please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to help, and I thank you.